So look, this is something I wanted to do for like, since I honestly first met Dev like years ago, like to be able to create like behind the scenes content, tell the story of like me and Dev, what we've built within the lab, where we want to go, and also be able to sprinkle in our team as we kind of go through this journey. So this is, I guess, the introduction to like the behind the scenes content exclusively on In the Lab Plus. So I'm super hyped for it. Dev's, I think, going to be enjoy this episode, or kind of what we're doing. But this is the story of us. This is how I want to kick it off. Because a lot of people always ask me, like, how did you guys meet? What is the story? Like, how did this all get started? So the first thing I want to ask you is, like, do you remember anything at all about receiving the email?
Yeah, you sent the email.
Do you remember like what you told me, like how you saw it?
No, but you sent the video, or you sent the video in the email just about, and it was like, I'm positive it was made by Mo and Maz now. Thinking back, I was like, man, this is a fire video.
Yeah.
I was like, I had Sunny, had what's the girl's name?
Band, like all the OGs from Edmonton were in
so
it.
I was like, man, this is like powerful. Like, I don't know what's going on with the actual basketball part of it. I'm like, but this looks really cool. And then at the end, he showed the dollar amount. I'm like, all right, I'll dabble, So we went out to. That's what I remember. You sent that email, and I pulled up. Because obviously, you gotta. At that point, I was strapped for cash, anyways. I don't say strapped. Actually, I was doing great because I just got back from China. Yeah. And so like they had paid fat bread out there, so I'm like, cool. Like let's keep adding to the bank account. Eventually, I end up blowing it, but. Went out there and we had like it was like the best camp ever almost until the second time we threw it. But that camp was great. But the funniest thing of why we actually started getting along mainly is because like I remember after the camp we went back and played Super Smash Brothers and all this other stuff. We're hanging out. But even before that, it was because like we had to clean up after the gym.
Yeah, you remember
and so
all
they
of
brought
it.
up some American beers. Yeah. Which was funny because, like, and this is like, how many years ago is this now?
6. I'll pull the picture up on screen, but probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was like 7 years ago. But it's funny that I remember the actual little beer that we did while we folded chairs and put away tables because I was just like, American beer, I never had that. Of course, it would be in Canada that we're having that beer. So we're just laughing and joking while putting away tables and chairs. And it was just like, man, like, Step Brothers are like, man, did we become best friends?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, yep. Like, so we went back to the house, and I remember this vividly. Like, we were playing Super Smash. They threw on 2K for a second. You got a projector.
Yeah, damn, wow.
And then we're sitting there, and I just went, when I drink sometimes, when I'm under the influence, sometimes I just have like motivational speeches. So like, do you remember that? I just went off on like a wild rant. You guys are all locked in. Yeah. I have no clue what I was talking about.
Yeah, we were sold though.
Yeah, you were sold, and I sold myself. I felt like I was like talking before, give you guys a hype motivational speech before I sent you off to war or something. Then after that, next thing you know, we're in Thailand. Next thing you know, we're in all over, so.
It was crazy because like
we got a lot of crazy stories. Actually.
We got a lot of crazy stories. So like basically, like, we got this gym for free for the first camp in Edmonton, and the deal was that because there was an exam the next day, we had to put like 200 desks and tables back. Yeah. And that's what he was talking about. Where we got some beer. It was me, Dev, a bunch of the homies, and we just spent like 2 hours drinking, and we got like pretty wasted in the gym.
I'm pretty sure we drove home drunk.
And then proceeded, this is in the Lab Plus, so it's fine. And then proceeded to go home, have more drinks, order Chinese food from this like dope ass spot, and play video games. And it was weird because like how we said, like that's how we became super close. Do you remember the churros?
Oh, the churros are fire. They can have the little sauce on them.
Yeah, with the caramel sauce.
Yeah,
so like,
you ever want a churro, you gotta go to Edmonton, bro. They got some of the best food. Their food fairs out there are crazy good. But they have this one spot with these churros, and you just dip it in the sauce. You can't have the churros without the sauce. They're that fire. And it was like the best churro I ever had. It was like
no cap, like for real.
Like just melt in your mouth type deals. It was crazy, bro.
We have some of the best food in Edmonton. And it's gonna sound like I'm lying. He can vouch.
It's a fact.
And actually, Calvin, you can vouch a little bit too, because you had the sandwiches and stuff too. Like
went to Trey's.
Yeah, Trey's. That's the churro place. Yeah. Oh, that's the other place actually.
But we didn't really get to get down out there when Calvin went out there. But yeah.
You still had good food, yeah.
Yeah, great food out there.
So we did the Edmonton camp.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I've ever told you this story about Thailand. Mm-hmm. Did I ever tell you like how it came about?
I just know Ike played in the NBA, and I just knew who he was.
Yeah. So I don't think I ever told you this. So this is like, I guess, the first time stories. Like, I think I told you when you're there, I always wanted to travel to train because I wanted to like be like you. Like everyone was looking up to you at that point. Like you were like the trainer.
Yeah.
How do we be like Dev? How do we do more stuff and train? So I was like, me, Sonny, Dino, I think Hork, whoever was there, like the boys, we were going to Thailand anyway. And we became so close with you. We're like, I don't know if you were there or we talked about it after, like, yo, what if like Dev came? What if we invite Dev out? Like that'd be kind of sick. Like he vibes with us.
Yeah.
So I hit up Ike and I sent them this whole proposal. And I could probably find on Facebook about how like me and you were already locked in and like you were basically ready to come to Thailand for the camp.
Yeah, and of course I wasn't.
And you weren't. You didn't even know about it. So like I just asked him and I was like, yeah, Dev's down to come. Well, let's set it up. And me never having trained anywhere before outside of Canada, we were able to get Ike to fly us out there, run a camp, have a vacation, and get paid.
And what's funny about that is it wasn't even about the basketball.
No.
When we went, it was just about the food.
It was the food.
We went
like,
out and we were just like having real food from Thailand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And like the experiences, like the characters we met.
Yeah. Like everywhere we go, we always meet a character. But like obviously the trainer was good.
Yeah.
We're at this like very kind of a rich school in a sense where, you know, they had all these kids that were like that spoke English. And
yeah, it's like an international school.
It was an international school. It was like actually really dope. The places they were going to school, that was crazy. But that was like 4 hours out of our day. I remember, you know, you telling me that we had to go work out. I'm like, wait, we got to work out for 3 or 4 hours every day?
Yeah.
Like straight? Yeah. Like what am I supposed to do? Like for 4 hours? Like it's only so much you and so it was
teach,
like it was like 4 days. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this, do that, and then we're gonna play for a long time. So like, I'll take up some time there. But it was fun because, you know, he ended up vibing with the kids and Ike's different, but you know, he's still a really dope guy. And he just, you know, showed us around and we knew him before he even had a kid. We came back, he had a kid. You know what I'm saying? But like after the camp was gone, oh man, it went down. Like we was like, you know, going eating, and remember we had the best burger we ever had.
The Batman
was
place, right?
No, it was like a random spot by our hotel. It was like a little stand.
Man, those burgers were fire.
It was the best burgers, but like
Johnny Thai or something.
But yeah, so after that 4-day camp, we ended up going to like all the little islands. So we went to Phuket, which is actually spelled like F it, without having to say the curse word. And so we went to Phuket. And then we went to Koh Phi Phi Island.
So that was our favorite.
So the best part about, I can tell the story now, like right, because this is like years ago. It's like you want to travel with people that you vibe with. So I vibe with Nav, so I always felt comfortable. So, you know, we would do stuff. This is like Canada stuff, only for Interlab Plus. But like we got on a boat and we traveled to Koh Phi Phi. On the way to Koh Phi Phi, we were complete strangers, and we had power hour.
Like 30 people on a boat.
Yeah, and like little did we know we were about to become the life of the party the whole way through.
Up.
So like as you're going and you just see nothing but islands that people have never been on before, and you're riding a Koh Phi Phi on a boat, every minute you have to take a sip of your beer that you bought from the boat, and you have to say cheers to whatever. Yeah. So it'd be like, oh, cheers to. I wonder if I still have those notes.
You might have the notes still.
Like
so we wrote it down.
Yeah, we were writing it down. So at the end of it, it'd be like, cheers to Koh Phi Phi, or cheers to this, cheers to that. And as that time went on, they would get funnier and funnier because we're getting more tipsy. But it was like, man, we got there, we got to Koh Phi Phi. This is the best part. So Koh Phi Phi is like dope. So at night, it turns into this big party. So you go out, basically this is how our experience went. We went from our hotel or whatever it was, and then we went out to the beach. We had we went to a restaurant, had some really good Thai food, and as you're going out to the shore, you see a long strip of sand. As long as you can see, there's a different like club, like a different music, different type of party. So it'll be like a reggae party, and then it'll be like a hip hop party. There'll be like house music. There'll be this, and that far as you can see, it'll be like 40 people 50 people at each like session, like dancing, right? Then you look over here and there's a jump rope on fire and there, like people are jumping through the jump rope. So we're like, all right, let's go over there. Then you look out in the ocean, there's like a trampoline and people are jumping into the water. It's like this crazy like fat party for one night. And so at the time, like, unfortunately, I was in a relationship, which is the worst part of, the worst thing ever, because I went out there and it was just like I said, we're the life of the party, like, and I couldn't do anything. You started vibing with people, and I forgot that we came there for basketball this whole time.
Seriously, because we had such a good time. You remember the dance circles we used to? You used to start them actually.
Yeah, we would start all the dance circles.
Yeah.
It just be fun. Like, you want to have fun dancing and experience some things that, it was cool about it. Basketball took us there. It allowed us to see the world and experience new food and different languages and all that type of stuff. But Thailand is one of the things that kind of kicked it off for us.
Something I'll never forget. Shout out to Ike, because Ike brought us out there twice to Thailand, I'm pretty sure.
And it's an NBA player too.
Ike's like Ike Nwankwo. You can look him up. Yeah, played for Lakers.
Yeah, he was telling us Kobe.
We played with Kobe, right?
Yeah,
or Karl Malone that year.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Won the championship.
So
and this dude is just out in Thailand.
Yeah, running a very successful basketball program. Like,
it's like super random.
So he was dope to us, and then from there, we've been a bunch of places. I think China was the next stop for us.
He linked us to what's the one in was it Hong Kong?
Bro, what's his name?
He linked us to Hong Kong.
Zach, right?
He linked it. No, so crazy story, bro. So I happened to be running something else in Hong Kong, so he brought us out there, right? Am I right or wrong? Richest school in Hong Kong. We go to the top of the hill, literally the top of freaking Hong Kong, and there's this beautiful school, right? You got to get in through the gate. There's a security guard. We ran a camp there too, right? I remember you got to walk up all these stairs and stuff. We had dinner that night. It was another 3 or 4 day camp. We had dinner. We went and we're at the top of this place. There's this dude talking, crazy to me about how he beat me in pool or whatever. We go play pool. I smack him. I'm off a few beers. I can do anything. So I have a burger. Little did I know there was probably something in the burger. Didn't know what was going on at the time, but like whatever. We had a great night. I mean, you go to the top and you see the building that Batman jumped off of. You remember that?
In the Dark Knight,
In the Dark Knight, yeah. So
like literally the building.
This is the type of life we're living. So long story short, we'll go to the train the next day. I'm done. I can't even get up. Remember how sick I was?
I ran the camp.
It was so bad that Nav
had to run the camp, because Dev was laid out on top of mats in the gym.
Yeah, like I'm like
couldn't do anything.
I'm like, let me just sit here for a second, and then I laid down and my eyes closed, and I was just there. I couldn't get up. I was not asleep. I was sick. I had food poisoning.
Done.
I was down for like 24 hours. Nav ran a camp for 3 hours.
I was taking over, bro.
Like a 3-hour camp.
Imagine me training for 3 hours. I wish I could do it, but I was like 3 hours, bro, alone.
I don't think the kids signed up for it. But
went into Devin Williams camp. I did what I had to do, and we just kept pointing at Dev. The kids were like, "Okay, he's sick. It's fine."
Yeah, so it was crazy, bro. I got really sick, but Hong Kong was dope because I didn't know, like, going into Hong Kong. I had been going to China, but I didn't know like China and Hong Kong are really not the same. Like they didn't even want to be known, not to get into political stuff, but they didn't even want to be known as Chinese. They wanted to be known as Hong Kongese. And I went up there, I got off the plane, so I'm like, trying to muster up all the Chinese that I knew. And I'm like, hey, in Chinese, I'm like, where are the taxis? I'm speaking all slow. And they were like, in English, they were like, sir, it's right over there. I'm like, oh, shoot, y'all speak English here? So, we going outside, whatever, we're trying to get to our hotel. Here's the funny thing about this. I know you remember. Gears of War had just came out.
Bro, I'm just going to say this.
Yeah, Gears of War had just came out. So we're like, all right, we got to find a hotel with a big TV.
Big TV. Has to have it.
We're going to park it. And we're going to play this game, and we're going to beat it while we're here, right? That's my thing, bro. I love video games. I love Gears of War, Halo, all those type of games. So I'm like, we're going to mob, get this TV, right? So we get to the hotel. The TV is like, it may have been like 15 inches or something. We're like, oh,
like a baby. No, baby TV.
No, and it didn't have no HDMI to plug it up to. But even still, even if it did, no way. You're not going to play 2 players, like a multiplayer game with a little small TV.
Couldn't do it, bro.
So we going around from hotel to hotel to hotel.
Think about this, in Hong Kong, we're like shopping hotels.
Yeah, like the day that we got there. You know what I'm saying? So finally we found this hotel. It's on the top floor. It's nice, and it had like separate
Two different
parts.
rooms.
Yeah,
like,
2 different
yeah.
rooms, big TV. So
Yeah.
we're playing. We're playing.
And we brought our
Gears of War.
Xbox. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. We bought it.
yeah, we bought the Xbox.
But then we
out
bought the
there.
game there.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. We
Yeah.
bought the game there. So
Yeah.
here's the crazy part. So we're beating the game. Whatever. Next day comes. I can't wait to get back and play this game because it's fun. We're tired of shit.
This is crazy.
We stayed up all night. So like basically a tsunami, like is this close to hitting Hong Kong.
Our area.
It's
Where
coming
right where
from
we are.
It's coming from the Philippines.
Yeah.
So like
A big one.
it's like cats and dogs outside. So we wake up and we're looking at like, it just looks like the city is being showered. And mind you, we're on like the 20th floor or whatever.
One of the highest
So we're looking down
spot,
at
yeah.
this. So we had no clue what was going on ground
Yeah.
level. We get a taxi to go to the gym because we got to run a workout. We start driving from outside of the hotel. We can't get out to the main street because the water is up this high to the window. So we're concerned that we won't be able to get out this alleyway and open the door because the water is blocking. But we're thinking that the water is going to get in the muffler and destroy the car.
Seriously.
So finally, luckily, we got out this alley. It's pouring, like it's pouring.
Crazy
I've never
rain.
seen it rain
Yeah.
like that. I've been through El Nino in LA, had nothing on it. So, and mind you, the tsunami didn't even hit all the way. Like it passed by.
us. It
So
passed
we're
us.
driving. Remember,
Yeah.
we're on the top of the hill. We had the train at the top of the hill at that school. It looks like a waterfall is going down the side of the mountain that we're driving up, right? So we ended up.
I
Anyway,
remember this visually.
bro, and
like,
we
vividly.
we have video. I still have video
Yeah.
of it. So we get up, we train, and we go back into the rain, and like, bro, like, basically, long story short, we go back up, stay the night. No, we didn't even stay that night.
We didn't. We went to their house, right?
This dude who had a kid that was probably in the training session or something, he really messed with the videos, right? He messed with 10,000 hours. He said, hey, man, look, you don't have to stay at that hotel. I know it's going to be hard. The rain is crazy. Just come stay at my house. Just like,
Yeah.
we're like strangers to this dude. Like, he doesn't even know us. First of all, we're stupid for going there. He's stupid for inviting. I could have been an axe murderer. And he could have been one too. So we could have just had a showdown. But all we would have had game respect. So we went to his house. It was a nice house. He had a room for us. Mind you, they had a TV, so we could have played video games. But this dude happened to, be a radio station guy. And we went to see his radio station. And, he's like the main talker on the radio station, right? Main host. And then he took us to like his country club, remember? And they had a basketball court.
They were
had
playing
a,
cricket and stuff.
Cricket field.
Yep.
It's just like a beautiful like country club.
Yep.
So it's just crazy to show like every place that we go, we run into all these characters that just mess with us because of like the whole 10,000 hours movement. And that was the place where we went that we found out about netball. So like,
That's right.
Yeah. So
We
I
saw
had
netball
no
being
clue.
played.
I had no clue what netball. Netball
Yeah.
is almost like it's just basketball, but you can't dribble.
Yeah, you can't
Or
dribble.
you
And
can't
and there's no
move.
backboard.
Yeah, there's no backboard. It's like weird. So, there's all these little weird stories. You can see I could probably talk about it for hours, but
What's like, we've traveled a lot of places like Australia, Canada, whatever, China.
we did go to Australia.
All these places. I already know my answer. Who's been like the favorite character for you? Because we met a lot of characters.
Oh, that's interesting though. Well, I don't know if you can guess it because I always talk about this guy, but David.
That's who mine was.
Okay, there you go, David. David is so. Going back into story time, right? So, David is at all our training sessions in Australia, right? It was another 4-day camp. We start training and he's there. His son is in the workout. His son's name is Miles. And to describe David, he's an older gentleman, thin hair.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like, he's a very nice guy. Every day he would come up to me and be like, hey, Dev, like, let me just show you around a little bit. Like, let's go get a bite to eat, all right? And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, 'cause I'm tired. Like, these some good workouts, but it's like 100 kids.
They're big workouts.
I want to go back to the hotel and take my shoes off and scratch in between my toe because I'm tired, bro. I'm done. Like, Like I'm done. I've been around kids all day. We've been traveling. I'm jet lagged. Whatever.
The flight, all that stuff.
Long story short, David gets back to me on the last day of the camp, or the third day. He's like, "Come on, buddy. Let me just take y'all." He's a super nice guy, right? So I'm like, "All right, like let's go.
Do it.
Let's go. Let's just do it, bro. Now, come on, mile with me, bro."
Yeah.
He's like, "All right." Like, so he takes us to a Vietnamese sandwich spot. We eat there. Fire
banh mi.
Oh man,
Fire
banh
banh mi
sandwich, right?
Some of the best.
Yeah. So I had a sandwich. He had a sandwich, but he had one more, so we could split that sandwich and try the other one, right? So because there's two different kinds. So then we went to a burger spot, which is supposed to be the best burger spot in Australia.
This is back to back.
This is like 45 minutes in between. So like fat burger, fat fry, like the fat fry, cut fries, shake. I think he took us to one other place. I just can't remember.
Yeah, there was something else.
He's like, "Yeah, you have to try this because this place, it used to be like a bathroom, but they turned it into a bus stop and they turned it into a restaurant, and then, but you got to try it." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever." We tried it. So this is like 3 meals in the span of like 2 hours. Like we're eating heavy food, like bread, potatoes, like. And my thing was like, I didn't know. But they have like some of the same foods in America. It's like I felt like I was eating American food.
Yeah.
So mind you, the whole time I didn't even say this. We went out from the gym. I don't know what type of car this dude would have. It was like a gardening truck. So we're mobbing around.
That's right. He
we're
did
mobbing
have a
around
truck
in a
like
gardening truck all around Australia.
Full of equipment in the back.
So we're going from restaurants. We're going this. He drives us by the beach. He was like, "Yeah, mate, you don't want to jump in that water. That's where the blue jellyfish are. You'll die if it touches you in a matter of 8 seconds."
That's how he would tell us stuff.
Yeah, like straight
like,
up.
Seriously.
So we're riding around, and then I start, I'm looking out the window. I'm like, "Man, these houses is nice. Dang, that's a fat house. Damn, look at this."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yo, David, how far we got to go?" He's like, "Oh no, we're here."
Yeah. His house was dope.
Like I said, we're driving around in a gardening truck. So we get to his house. It's like a little snake driveway. We go into the house to his garage. It's probably like a 9-bedroom house or whatever. We go, and the first thing he offers us is more food. I'm telling you,
fresh barbecue.
I'm telling you, like, if I would have wore a button up, the buttons would have been flying off of my shirt, bro. So we go and he offers us some more food. We sit down. Here's what I remember. One of my favorite parts of the story. So his son, Miles, he was always a kid in camp asking questions, very attentive, trying what we worked on, right? Went to a school. His brother's really smart. His other brothers, just got a scholarship, academic scholarship. And Miles is just like, it's like, he's 8 years old, but it's like talking to like Nav right now.
He was super intelligent.
It's like talking to a grown man.
Yeah.
And so my thing was like, how do you get a kid to just talk like this? It's like incredible to me. And so, long story short, I asked him when we were sitting down at the table, he was like, "Oh, man, it's just about listening to your kid, man. Like, we don't allow phones at the table." This stuck with me forever.
Yeah.
Every now and then I hit this guy, but he was just like, "Yeah, we don't allow phones at the table when we eat. And every day we eat together, this, that, and the other. And, we act, when he talks, we listen to him. So he doesn't feel afraid to make mistakes and this and that. I'm like, man, that's dope. Like, And so I remember he was like, "All right, food's done." We're literally like falling asleep.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
We couldn't stay up.
We were that's
because he was also giving us beer and stuff.
He was
like
giving
drinks.
us beer, but it was more the food that had me going to sleep.
It was
obviously the beer helped. So like I think I actually literally just took a nap, and he just kind of allowed it.
You went upstairs, I think
I can't remember.
Yeah,
bro.
you went somewhere because I was hanging out with them.
Oh, when I went upstairs, there's like almost like was it a Devin shrine? Was that the house? There was some place I went. It was like a shrine of me almost. Like it was just like posters on the wall.
Upstairs?
And I can't remember if it was Miles' house.
This is news to me.
It might have been somebody else. I could be wrong about that, but he had like a nice room. I'm pretty sure. Whatever. I don't want to connect to Miles if it wasn't Miles. But he's like, "All right, we're gonna make you guys some sausages. I just woke up."
That's right.
Do you remember that?
That's right.
He's like, "These are the best sausages in Australia. This and that." I'm like, "Okay, man, but just cut some slices."
Yeah, just calm down.
We go in the backyard and like, do you remember how big his backyard was?
Huge.
It's huge. It's like a golf course damn near. It was like like this dude was filthy rich, but it was kind of like never judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Because this guy didn't look like he had money. Some of the people that are the richest people in the world, they don't actually like floss. Like they don't actually buy all this designer stuff that some of the people like long to wear.
Yeah.
And that to me is like cool. Like, you know, like they won't have to have like a Lamborghini out front that they're always just driving around.
They don't need to flex on it.
The way I think, if I just keep driving my Kia Optima around, people will stop asking me for stuff, like handouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll look at people like that. Like, I would have never thought to ask, even if I wanted something. I would have never thought to ask David.
We never would have.
You know what I mean?
On first class.
But that was our care. Like all these places. Like, keep in mind, we met in Thailand. We met a guy that freaking played basketball with Kobe Bryant. Then in you know, Hong Kong, we met a guy that, you know, he had a radio station. His kid did this, and you know, he had a nice house here, and he invited us in the middle of like almost a tsunami. Invited us to his house, and it was a nice home. Then, you know, out here, we meet David. You know, so we always have these really, really cool characters that, you know, and that create our unforgettable bonds, and it's like cool just going through that. But yet again, basketball takes you to these places.
There's been so many like crazy stories. Obviously, we can't uncover everything in this one video, but we'll have more like in other videos hopefully. But there's so much that we could talk about. I want to go over like the Hawthorne stuff a little bit, the Hawthorne house, because there's so many like things to touch on there. But before that too, like, because a lot of people always ask me like how I got out here, or like the story of like coming out here. You remember like sleep?
You can tell them that, or how you got your ass deported out of here too.
Yeah, there's a lot of so like for those who don't know, like this has to go in a lot plus after I get my visa probably. We're gonna have to hold this for a little bit, but basically like I had a TN visa, which is a work visa. That was how I basically left everything in Canada one day. So like for Dev, like I always say like between us we have like a lot of trust between each other. Like there's a high level of accountability, but like even before we started working together, like just like everyone else probably in this room or who watched 10,000 hours, like this guy was like the big bro, like the idol. So for me, it was like when Dev says something, I was like, oh yeah, like it's on. So I remember like, I don't remember the full story about it, but I remember like, I don't know if I was texting you, I probably was, about like just a situation with going back home and like how I wanted to leave, and you kind of were like supportive of me to just basically just like leave and kind of come out and kind of like be a part of like what you're building. I don't remember the full backstory, but I basically just said like F it, left family, friends, everything back home, and just kind of came to LA. Got the visa.
Dirty too, like.
Huh?
You came out here dirty, like just.
Yeah.
You didn't have a bunch of money or nothing.
I had nothing, bro. When I came out here, like there was no plan. I had a suitcase. I slept on. Shout out to Matt Jack, like that's the homie. Like slept on his couch for a long time, and then we finally decided, eventually, to thug it out and get a house.
A lot of people don't know, man. Like, you know, everybody think we was just balling or something. Like,
no,
it was not like that. You know, I've been investing and losing for a long time, making the wrong moves, and you know, that's just kind of the part of it when you don't have that person that's just kind of guiding you through it. So we're actually creating a blueprint for somebody else to follow in the long run right now.
Exactly.
And we're just starting to like, you know, get to the point where we're comfortable. But like, you know, starting off when we went into that house, it was like nothing. Like I was like, dang, like we got to pay the first month's rent and rent.
Yeah, and the damage deposit. Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of money. Cause we paying
that was like that was almost 5 G's a month for that place. Like, oh, that house we had was like that was our biggest expense we've like ever had at that point.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, I don't even know what's gonna happen in about 3 months. But we made it stretch for like 3 years or something, you know. Yeah. And so you know, our business really hasn't been going on for that long. So we was out here living together, and you know, they saw I was bringing my ex-girlfriend in the house to my wife now. Yeah, that's how long. Like
that's how long it was. Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of been some stuff that's happened over time, but like, you know, that was kind of like living together. You know, kind of like obviously brought us closer together, and you know, it was just crazy because when you don't argue with a person for that long, like, you know, you got a good friend. You know what I mean? Like we may have some disagreements, but we always figured it out. And here we are. You know, with in a barbershop in our gym. So
I think that's like something like huge because like, yeah, obviously we've had disagreements over business stuff, but like it's always been like a learning experience where like we get over it quick or we move right on to the next thing. We've never had like knock on wood some like stupid crazy fight or we've just always got along.
No,
But like we were just, you know how many nights we've stayed up playing Call of Duty?
Yeah, that's what it turned into, like gaming house.
Like, we should just play games till like midnight, like
Well,
not knowing when to stop playing.
Yeah, we was vibing off that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun. Like, you know, just dropping out of a plane and trying to attack 100 people.
That's when Battle Royale was like popping. So like we had it going in that house.
So it was like every night. Like we looked forward to we got our work done throughout the day, and then we just played video games. And I was like, you know, when you the people that you go to war with, you want to be able to vibe with. I was just talking to you about that, right? And it's just like, you know, we had that stuff that we had in common, like video games and basketball, and we'll do anime, all this other stuff, movies. Like we just, you know, I had my cousin in the house, and you know, when we went out to a certain place, you know, we'd be up at night in the same hotel room, and he didn't want to watch scary movies, but we wanted to just watch a scary movie, bro. Like, it was like, when the last time you watched a scary movie? You remember that?
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
So, okay, hold on. Before you said that cut you off, or you good?
No, I keep going, but you could.
I know, yeah, you could. Yeah. I don't like watch scary movies. This is not a thing I do, but like I've never like I like watching them. But when I started like hanging out with this fool and we started traveling, every time we travel, China, Hong Kong, wherever we go, we watch a scary movie, bro. And like he'll find like different types of movies, like not stuff that's in the theater.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, and they're scary. Like I remember we used to go with Cornell one time. Like it'd be scary that way he wouldn't even watch the movie. He may leave the hotel room.
No, you forgetting the part. So like, he had VPN or whatever he had on his phone.
Oh, he had the app.
He had the app, so we couldn't watch it without him.
Yeah.
So he was just like, nah, you ain't about to be watching that stuff on my phone. Like that's demonic. He throwing like.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's exactly what he said. So he was throwing like Friday or something.
Yeah, like, something funny, something chill.
Something that brought him back to in his comfort zone because he wasn't trying to be scared. Am I lying about any of that?
So for the last like 6-7 years, since I don't even know how long I've known Dev, whatever, 7 years, I have not watched a scary movie with anyone else. And if you think about it, I'm not always with him. So at least like once or twice a year, I'll watch a scary movie with
I was like, oh, you trying to watch it? Like, you be like, yeah. I'm like, cool, because my wife don't watch scary movies.
Yeah, my wife doesn't watch it. You remember Texas, what was the last one we saw?
I don't know.
The Halloween one?
Oh, the Halloween.
Where the girl at the car?
It ended up being funny. It just ended up being funny.
It was like
I don't
a
know
comedy
if y'all ever
movie.
saw that Sorry Halloween movie. There's a scene
Have you seen
where
it?
Michael Myers is in the driver's seat. He's in the driver's seat, and this girl has a gun. And she's shooting right into the car. The problem is, is it Michael Myers?
Michael Myers, yeah.
He's sitting in the car. He's sitting in the driver's seat as calmly as I am right now, and she missed 7 shots right into the car, 10 feet away. He gets out. What happened? How does she end up dying?
I think he opens the door.
He kicks the door.
Or he kicks the door, and the gun shoots her in the face or something like that. Like,
bro, I don't know. It was just something ridiculous.
It was a comedy, but
anyway, not even to go too far. But I was sorry ass.
Something else like really dope. First of all, like shout out to the Bay Club. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Oh, Bay Club.
Because we have so many good times and memories at the Bay Club, but something that's like been really big for me when I came out here and that I've carried back home to Canada. That's why I love coming to LA, to be honest, is being with you and like that accountability of like working out. Because we would work out every day.
Yeah.
Sand, Cornell stuff, Bay Club, hoop at night. Like we always had our schedule of like
working.
Taking care of our body, and then we'd come back and we would take care of business.
Yeah.
Which was like so big for us, and
it's even at a different level now, though.
It's evolved. We've evolved.
I'm up there with your brother every day, and we're working out. And you know, one thing I'm learning is that throughout working out every day, you're actually not so much working out your body as you are the brain, right? Training yourself to get up every day and attack the day just like you did the last one, or even go harder at that. And so like that takes a different type of monster. Yeah. And what it really comes down to is just being a creature of habit, right? And that kind of goes into the brand, right? You know, getting in the lab, getting addicted to, you know, just results and, you know, new things and new experiments. And it's kind of cool just being in that type of mindset every day. Like, and then on top of that, like, and Dom's a part of it, just building that culture. Like, hey, yo, like, I'm not working out with you, you're working out with me. Like, I'm not in the lion's den, the lions are in here with me, you know? So like they have to, you know, they have to get on the same page of what we're doing. And so like, we're creating a culture here, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do with our brand. Like, you know, like just everybody feeling a part of what we're doing, but at the same time, like you can't be on board if you're not down to work. Like just imagine if y'all came in here like cutting hair, but y'all wasn't, you know, trying to grind and get no clients or it don't work like that. You know what I mean?
Fun,
so,
yeah.
and I don't really like being around people like that. Like it just don't. Like everybody in this room right now kind of wakes up and goes and gets it, you know. So, and it's kind of cool just being your own boss, and that's just not saying there's something wrong with. You know, everybody got to have a little role in life, and sometimes that requires you to be a great follower, right?
Exactly.
Every great follower, every great leader needs great followers.
Yep.
So, like, you know, the whole workout thing, even it started in Hawthorne. We come in and wake up and go to the Bay Club all the time and be there, and then we go into the jacuzzi, and we it was the beginning of us, you know, creating habit, and it's only going to lead to, like, good things in the future. The biggest thing for us was just, like, planning. So now, like, you know, we kind of go in there and wing a workout. Yeah. Now I got a trainer, you know, so it's good to just sometimes just have like a coach, you know, or somebody that's going to help you get on the right page, and you ain't got to cook something up in your head or follow a YouTube video. You just got a guy that's just coming in, you just follow what he does, right?
Exactly.
And so me, when I go in there, I bring my killer mentality or leadership, whatever, but at the same time, like, you the quarterback, I'm just catching, you know, and I'm gonna run it, you know, as soon as I get it. So that's why I be thinking, like, you know, when we get in that type of mindset. So now when we go into business, I'm going to Nav. All right, we got a plan. We got to do this, and Nav starting to go get some bags, and we come back and make something happen out of it. You know, we got the little Zone 6 thing happening, and we got the Frigga versus who was that? The Hooligans. And so we're doing like our own events, and we're trying to turn it into what we want it to look like, instead of like what we've seen it look like. And it's cool because people are starting to copy it, which is great because I know that a lot of these people haven't gone through like the habitual, like waking up and just doing certain things. So like, and even still, if you did, you can't be me better than I can be myself, you know? So like, you know, the creativity part, you can't copy that, you know? You can just try to do what you think is.
They can just try to do their best.
Just try to make the best copy of it as you can. You know. So
you remember, like, you talk about planning a lot just now. And I was talking to Calvin about this before. Like, one of my favorite things about the Hawthorne house was that we went and we bought paint that made a whiteboard.
Oh yeah,
So you walk into imagine this. You walk into our house in Hawthorne. The front door's here. As soon as you turn left in the living room, the entire wall we turned into a whiteboard, and that was like the beginning of us like learning how to plan, because we did it, but we didn't really know it yet. Like now we're way better at it.
We're a lot better.
We're still learning though.
We're a lot better at planning. We got more to go. It's just that we take on more than what we take on too much sometimes.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, okay, for example, this weekend or this week, yesterday we just got the barbershop, right? We have a group chat going with them. Then we have another group chat going with the San Francisco group, because we're just trying to throw an event on the first. But before the first, we have another group chat going with Zone 6 and the Savage Squad, which we're trying to do a 5-on-5 event, free Chick-fil-A, come out, buy some clothes. But then on top of that, we got the In the Lab Plus. We're trying to put out content for that. And then on top of that, I'm coming here training and trying to get in, you know, work out with the dump masters. So I'm tired off of that. But then on top of that too, I need a recovery room. So we're trying to build that.
So that was
$1,000 just for the wall. Then we got to pay a certain amount for the Normatech. So it's a lot that goes into that. But just thinking of like we sometimes spread ourselves too thin, and, you know, not just attack one thing. And I think that's something that, you know, we always talk about room for improvement. That's one thing. We got to just attack like certain goals. Get to that finish line, then run to another finish line, because that finish line just became another starting point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like just be more intentional. We kind of just talked about that.
Technically, we're just running like like, you know, halfway getting here, halfway getting there. Then, you know, so it's like.
It's because we have so many good ideas and so many legs, but like we just talked about the other day, like we had like, let's say 10 things, but we know like the 5 we gotta focus on.
Yeah.
Like we know like our 5 pillars that we gotta focus on. And that's like, I think that's the best part about us, like being these scientists and like being in the labs. Like we're not like the best entrepreneurs, but like one day we're gonna be able to look back and say like, yo, we built something really big.
No, it's coming.
And we, like you said, we built the blueprint for Sky. or the next generation of
or
kids. Coming
somebody
up.
else that we don't know.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm
I
saying.
know it's a lot of people that reach out and be like, man, I'll be watching how y'all marketing and stuff that you be seeing on your story, and I'm taking notes,
Yeah.
And we're not perfect.
No.
There are a lot of people that are around us can tell you that, but we're working. We getting better, that's for sure.
So when we first started, let me ask you this first, actually. When I first came to that Hawthorne house, and I don't know if you have the answer for this, do you remember what our championship was that we put on the board?
Nah.
Because I was trying to think about like what it was.
Nike?
That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
So I feel like the last like 4-5 years, whatever, our goal has been to build the next Nike.
Yeah.
And I feel like only recently, and you said this, and actually like Ryan, like sales manager, mentioned this to me today, and a couple other people was like, you guys are like trying to build the next &1. And like when I hear that more, like to me, that's really what we're trying to do. Cause like Nike is cool and like they have all these other sports, but like &1 was like just basketball, pure basketball, street ball, like culture. Like I feel like that's where we're headed.
It's going to
it's
be
like that
some,
mixture.
We can head wherever we want to go, but it's nice to have like a target.
Yeah.
But it's going to end up being the next in the lab at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like we're going to create something that somebody's going to try to copy.
It's going to be our own thing, yeah.
But it's nice to have like, all right, for example, I wasn't necessarily trying to create, I was motivated by &1 and I made 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
I just made it my own way. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know.
Yeah. So our some of our pillars is like, things have obviously gone crazy the last like few years, right? I mean, we'll talk about this first, like, cause we're sitting in a gym that's technically ours, right? It's the lab.
Yeah.
We're in a freaking barber shop.
Yeah.
We got Christian, we got T. This guy used to be Calvin's barber, which I don't know why we hired him because Calvin's cuts are freaking wild.
No,
we got T.
He's wild. He's makes
wild.
The cut look wild.
Yeah.
Because he's wild.
No, T's actually Dom's brother. Dom's a part of our street ball team now. So like,
I had no clue that was his.
I had no idea. It's cool that things are connecting, but like we're sitting here getting cut, making this content in something that I never envisioned us getting so early. To be honest.
Yeah.
So early on.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean,
and this is cool, and like I'll let you explain the vision of kind of real quick of like what you want this to become, like that all-in-one.
The gym?
The all-in-one,
yeah. I kind of explained it because like basically I did the Dump Master stuff to just see if it works and see how people feel when they go through the workouts. And so like I would go from the Dump Master workouts and I'm getting more bounce, and I go to my workouts, but I would do them myself. And so doing that workout, I'm like, all right, what do we need? What would an athlete need? Recovery, right? So we're building a recovery room. When I look at myself all the time and like shoots and like I go in the mirror, I'm just like, I'm always grimy. Let's put a barbershop in here. Like literally, but that's how I was thinking though, So I'm like, all right, but what we need inside of a recovery room? We need Normatex. We need massage guns. We need ice baths. We need this and that. Let's build a wall so nobody can just break into it. I sound like Trump. But let's build a wall, let's make a room, and let's get like, Bosu balls, let's get some stretch bands, let's get all that type of stuff. Let's get some massage tables. If we're gonna do it right, let's do it. Because eventually what's the goal? We want people to pull up and feel like they're a part of the culture, right? They're part of this gym. So, if I'm gonna make you pay for it, it better be worth it.
Yeah.
You can't just come here and play basketball and bounce and I charge you $500 a month, You gotta have, all kind of stuff in here. And then we could build up and add, after that. So it's like a lot of potential here. And, this is like kind of the beginning, just having a barbershop. Low-key is like a flex, but at the same time, you come here and get right. You know what I'm saying? Like, off top, Dump Master, what's funny? So think about this. I low-key became the poster boy for his workouts.
He's 100%.
Yeah, because I started dunking.
Yeah.
And people knew me for not dunking.
Exactly.
So, like, here's what's funny now. So, like, I'm in here getting cut, and like Dump Master came in here and got cut. You're coming here and get cut. So like we're like the poster boys for them.
Yeah. No, for real though.
It's like weird when you think about it. But that's what I love. Like I always credit like some Jewish people and some Indian people, like friends that I have, right? They always tell me stories about how each business profits off each other.
Yes.
So like
yes.
your barber, I'll go to your barber shop, you come to my sandwich spot, we'll go to your clothing store
Yeah,
and
car
we'll just
wash,
keep
whatever,
the money
yeah.
within it. And I thought that's dope. Like, I really think that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not so much like with me, not a black or a white thing. You know, I obviously believe in empowering black people, young black kids, because I grew up in a black community. But I have a guy over there I talk all night with about anime and you. We talk about all kind of stuff. And my wife is Latin, and you know, I have a bunch of black friends. When I moved out to the Bay, I have a bunch of Filipino friends. So like, you know, I think it's a people thing, right? Because you know, my son doesn't even know the difference between black, white, Asian, all this other stuff. Like when he's hanging around other kids, he doesn't know the difference. He just has fun with them.
They're just people.
You know, he just vibes. So, you know, I just think that, you know, it's just a sick idea, just kind of keeping like cash flow within this gym, and like my business can support yours and nobody's colliding or none of that type of stuff. We got recovery, we got dumb out, we got basketball training. But now I'm at the point where it's like so many different trainers here. Let's all get on the same page and create continuity where you go from bang, 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 bang.
Exactly.
And you out of here, you go home, you know?
Yeah.
But you might be up here for 5 hours spending bread. You know, and you know, if you're good at something, maybe we can find a way for you to create a juice bar over there.
Exactly. And
you know,
even
so
more
now,
stuff, yeah.
You know, so like it's just I want everything to come full circle. But when you come here, everything's gonna make sense, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And then on top of that, you know, it's cool to have a barbershop because you want to value how you look when how you're presented.
Yeah.
When you're doing different things. You know, you don't want to seem like you don't care about yourself. And I had to think about that type of stuff. And like, if it wasn't for these ingrown hairs, I'd be able to shave all the time, keep myself a little bit more fresher. But at the same time, it's just like you want to value that, you know, how, your appearance and you know how you present yourself. And so I'm like happy that we got this in here just for that reason alone, low key. You know, because I want to value my appearance. I told her I was gonna come every 2 weeks. Why not? Like, you know, if it's you know. I grew up thinking that getting manicures was like a feminine thing.
Yeah, that's how it was perceived to us.
Yeah, like you know, but like you know, once your fingernails start falling off or something crazy, you got some ashy ass hands.
You just looking crazy.
You
like,
ain't putting lotion on, like
you
know, you're gonna be wishing that you got the manicure, but it's gonna be too late when you lose a finger or something crazy. So, you know, that's my whole thing. Even like just brushing your teeth. Seriously though, taking pride in your appearance, because you're gonna be hot when one of them teeth go missing. You have to get some dentures, and you say the wrong word, they come flying out your mouth. so I don't know, it's just appearance and just presenting yourself properly is, you know, as you get older, you start to learn different things and get better over time. Like whereas I'm like, I don't need a haircut. I'm grimy all the time. I'm in a lab. Like,
nah,
bro. I gotta go have a Zoom conference or speak at this event. You know, talk in front of a bunch of people. Yeah. And what I want my son, like, you know,
you never know when you can also meet someone.
Hanging out his nose, like, no, like, clean yourself up.
No.
Like, so.
I think that's super important to like show the young kids too, like the young athletes, like appearance is everything.
Well, for me too, like a lot of kids look up to me.
Yeah.
So like when I was wearing Vans, because I didn't have no shoes. Kids thought, oh, let me go play basketball on Vans. No, fool, I didn't have no, that was all I had.
You didn't have shoes, yeah.
If I could have had Nikes or some Adidas, I would have did that. But like, I had Vans because, you know, when you tear your ankle up, don't go say, well, Devin was, you know, like he was wearing Vans. Like, nah, like that was the reason why. So I don't know. Just knowing I have that type of influence on people, you know, you just wanna just take care of yourself a little bit more. And just like T and them, like they may motivate somebody else to be barbers, right?
For sure, they will, yeah.
You know, they gotta have, you know, their appearance and how they take care of how they present themselves, or you know, even just these capes are right here. You know what I'm saying? Like the artwork on the cape, like it's dope. Like, you know, have your own style. Like this is so much different than that. Yeah. His hairstyle is totally different from that. He may cut different type of hair. You know what I'm saying? So I think that type of stuff, like it all matters, man. Like in the grand scheme of things, when you know, there's people watching. Yeah. You know, not even just to judge, to learn. You know, so, you know, T was telling me, you know, you could tell more, but, you know, how you was cutting hair, we could say that for another time, but like, you know, just cutting it for the UCLA, all the UCLA football players. You know, he got a thumbprint. He going right in there, just mob
different
how he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's like, you might motivate the next person. Maybe I could cut the Lakers here.
Exactly.
Why not though?
Seriously.
Why not? So why can't you make the next In the Lab or the next Nike or whatever you're trying to do? So anyway, I know we talk. I know it's kind of going along. So
No, it's good. The last couple things is like we're gonna save the rest for another video, but like we obviously have built so many different pillars in the lab. Content, content fuels everything for us. The apparel, the gym. The apparel's gone crazy the last few years. Like we've like we used to like have the Hawthorne house. I used to have it organized wild, like shelvings all over the place. You remember that the garage, like, but like we didn't know any better. Like it's like we didn't have like other means to get a warehouse and stuff. And then we went to your house, and let's not even talk about the inventory situation at your house. But now we've graduated into a warehouse, like 30,000, like a massive warehouse that we've partnered with. We're like now we're not worried about shipping, but
it saves time.
It's been really dope to see the apparel grow. Like all the new designs we've had, like the anime inspired stuff, like the basketballs, the shoes.
And now we're at the point where we're about to be doing like real collabs. Like, we're getting to that point where knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I guess In the Lab Plus exclusive,
Hunter,
like
Hunter,
you could say Hunter, Hunter, Boruto, and Bleach.
Yeah, it's like that's like
are the three potential ones where you're like maybe you're gonna license.
You never know what's possible. So maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't happen. We're in talks.
We're in talks. We just gotta finalize it. So it's like
anyways,
we've definitely come a far way with clothing, man. It's been exciting to see it. And then last thing was like also like the streaming stuff. Like we started with. I remember telling you about OTT like before it happened, and I think we were like so ahead of the curve. But like actually, the Academy like did really well.
They kind of did.
And we were charging like $50 a month.
Yeah.
And we had like a lot of people like in the Academy.
I know.
And now we got In the Lab Plus. It's like $10 a month, more similar to Netflix, but we're actually like on the right path of what we're building. Like I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're trying to create the Disney Plus for basketball players.
Exactly, like the exclusive series. Like Calvin's working on a Hezigah documentary. Like there's so much behind the scenes stuff coming that's outside of training. Is it? You want to come on screen and talk about that?
No, I will say that.
You want to come say hi on screen?
We'll say that for another video. No.
Yeah. The next video is gonna be me and Calvin having a serious one-on-one talking this year. There'll be nobody else in the room but us. But honestly, like to end it off, like, cause like I want to do this more often with Dev, once a month, whatever it is. But like give an update.
2 weeks.
Yeah, just every 2 weeks, give an update on like what In the Lab is doing, cause like this is an introductory video to give more insight into us and our story. But like there's literally so much going on. And I think it's cool for us to share that with you guys because like you guys have helped us build this. Like the fans of the community that you built and that we've carried on is like, it's actually crazy like the cult community
we're building a following
that has come within the lab.
But it's cool, man. Like we're gonna keep going and keep growing and obviously we're just gonna keep building the community and keep making you guys feel a part of everything that we do. So and we can't do it without obviously we can't do it without you anyway. So
this is a big year, and I think we have a lot of cool stuff that no one knows about yet. There's a lot of stuff like in the vault that I think me and Dev may come out with this year or like announce. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to Andre. Shout out to Calvin. Shout out to T. Handles will come up on the screen. Shout out to Christian. These are our 2 new barbers. We might have a 3rd barber in there soon. Got an event going down this Saturday. Cal, you want to come on here and say hi real quick?
No, man. Just follow them.
Until next time, a lot more behind the scenes content is coming. Man, just enjoy it. And thank you guys.